let's go over just a few of the prevalent diseases that we're
Sure.
seeing a rise in on,
Yeah.
because of the rise in tick numbers.
Yep.
Lyme's is the most popular one that we hear
Yep.
about.
Correct.
I think you said earlier, we have all, every state has a case of Lyme's now, correct?
Lyme has been discovered in all 50 states at this point. Yep.
Okay. And did it start in Connecticut? Is that where they
Yep.
think it?
Lyme, Connecticut is kind of where it's got its name. Whereas it kind of the disease was first kind of tracked
Mhm.
and attributed to Lyme, Connecticut.
Do they know what may have like caused the start of that disease?
Um, so it's a bacteria that had kind of evolved in ticks. So basically, similar to how mosquitoes, when you have a mosquito bite, they inject a anticoagulant type thing that's what's itchy
Mhm.
after they suck your blood. In Lyme, Connecticut, that was the very first time that they made the connection between this new bacteria in the ticks and the ticks themselves.
Okay. So it's not necessarily that was the epicenter of the disease or anything, but it just was
Correct.
where
Yes,
it was.
there is some. How do I phrase this nicely? There are some.
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you use that word. That it was bioengineered as a
Yeah.
chemical weapon, but we know that's not the case.
Okay. Well, that got brought up on Facebook a couple times, so
Hey, we're
I'm
aware
glad
of
we
it.
covered
We're
it
aware
real
of it.
quick.
I love a good conspiracy
Oh
theory.
yeah, it's the best, dude.
Absolutely.
It's so much
And
fun.
yeah. But
Um,
yes, there's enough research on it at this point that we know that that's actually not the case.
okay. What year was it that it came
That's a
about,
good
or
question. Let me multitask.
roughly? Um, yeah, that's a beautiful part about doing this on a computer. You can kind of look up you can be Jamie from Joe Rogan Experience at the same time.
Well, I'm not going to rely on the AI results, but uh, 1982 is when
Okay.
there's really saying that it was first kind of registered and studied,
Okay.
but they're finding cases dating further back than that.
I imagine it had to be pretty rare back then.
Yeah,
Um, okay.
or
Uh,
at least rarer than it
right,
is
rare.
today.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Do you feel like doctors nowadays are taking? Okay, so this is just people kind of communicating to me some of their
Sure.
struggles with Lyme disease and how like it was so hard to get their doctor
Yeah.
to like to
Yeah.
test for this or
Yep.
to take this serious. Um, why do you think that kind of
Yeah.
that
So
speculation goes around?
yeah, more than happy to take a stab at that. So I think it's a combination of things, and hopefully I don't get distracted explaining it. It's basically the idea that, much like we said when we were growing up, it wasn't that much of a concern. So when doctors, current doctors, who knows when they were educated on the subject based on how old they are, where they're practicing. So there's a lot of outdated information that some medical professionals are still working off of. And similarly, since it's actually a very difficult kind of disease to exactly point out or diagnose, some people get bit and they remove the tick in an ample amount of time for it not to be a concern. Some people don't know that they're bit. They still end up getting a bull ring rash around it, but then end up not getting any sort of long term effects. And then there's a lot of people. There's popular celebrities that just had no idea that they even got bit by a tick, and then they start to suffer, chronic cases or aches and pains or fevers or anything that they don't even think to attribute to a tick-borne disease. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, and with it being difficult and controversial to diagnose, kind of adding to that difficulty on both sides, either the patient not being able to convince their doctor or the patient not even knowing that this is what they should be concerned about. So
Yeah.
that's why we always say if you do find a tick embedded in you, even if you get it off in an early amount of time, throw it in a Ziploc bag or a glass jar, just in case you do start to show symptoms, and then so you can take that tick with you to your doctor, which should give you a higher degree of kind of diagnosis accuracy.
Yeah. I have a buddy that does that, and I saw his jar like a few years back. He's been doing it for a long time. I'm like, why do you have a jar of ticks here? And he put them in tape, like he would put them in tape and then write the
Yep,
date on them or
yep,
whatever.
yep,
And then
yeah,
I'm like, why are you keeping your ticks? And he told me like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Like it's probably a good
sure,
idea to do that.
yeah, and
How is
hopefully,
there? Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just going to make a joke. Back to
Oh,
you.
um, is that rule like I've always heard? Like if you get them off in 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever it is, that you're safe. Is that a actual thing? Like to give
So
you an example,
currently,
me
yeah,
and my me and my
airing,
son me and my
sure,
son went hiking the other day, and he got one on him. We got it off
yep,
while we were hiking.
sure,
Like it was literally on there for couldn't have been 5 minutes.
yep.
But
So it depends on the species, because unfortunately, a single tick bite from the Lone Star tick can create that alpha gal intolerance. But when it comes to traditional tick bites, they say right now the current window is 8 to 20 hours, or
okay,
let's just call it 24 hours. So there still is ample time before they kind of release some of those more potentially dangerous bacterial transmissions. But I don't care how long the tick has been on. If I feel one, I feel 1,000, and I want to make sure that there aren't ticks on me or any loved ones, pets included.
yeah, for sure. My my dog got Lyme's disease, and it really. I mean, I didn't know what was wrong with her. I thought she was going to die. I
Sure,
mean, she did not
sure,
want to move. She was whining constantly. And that was. I mean, they put her on some antibiotics and took
yeah.
care of it. But yeah.
Well, for those that are unaware, you can actually use soy or permethrin directly on dogs.
Mhm.
So it's the exact same formula that we sell, Bass Pro, Cabela's, Amazon, wherever you shop. But we also even have a dog packaging specific version. You apply it directly to your dog, and it can last. Let's see, it's 35 days against fleas and up to 6 weeks against ticks.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to know your pets are very susceptible to them. It seems like.
Oh yeah, and it's a great way to make sure if your dog's out running through the woods. I got a wired hair pointer. I want to make sure he's not bringing ticks back into the tent or the cabin or the house too. I'm for sure worried about his safety, but I also want to make sure that he's not bringing any back to the house.
Does Lyme's always come with the target type or bullseye type rash?
It does not, and that's why I was going back to earlier. We are saying sometimes it's difficult to diagnose because not everyone gets the bull ring. Some people, may not be able to see where they got bit or whatever. So yeah, no, it does not always present itself identically to all people, and that's why it's difficult for people or medical professionals to accurately
Yeah.
diagnose it at times.
It does seem like just a crazy disease. I mean, I've heard people that just are a little bit sick, and I've heard people that are, feel like they're never gonna
Sure.
come out of it.
There's some people that say that there is no such thing as chronic Lyme, and I know people who would happily debate the others on that.
Yeah, me too.
The symptoms can truly be wildly different, but also a very long effect.
Yeah. Okay. That's Lyme's. Alpha gal, that's another one that's getting really
Yeah. So,
prevalent.
yep. So that's obviously one of the most concerning for a lot of outdoor men and women. So yeah, a single bite from the Lone Star tick can trigger the alpha gal syndrome, which is more than likely a lifetime of intolerance towards red meats.
Is there any way of getting rid of it?
Um, Short answer is no. Hope that can change in the future. And again, some people might have varying degrees of intolerance. But currently speaking, as of the time of this recording, there are no known kind of fixes for that.
Mm, my pastor got it, and he I think it was several years he couldn't eat red meat, but a fun
Yep.
fact, he could eat a McDonald's cheeseburger and wouldn't have
Well,
no
we can
symptoms.
we can speculate as to what that might be, but
That's what he said, and,
I believe it. But
he wouldn't lie about it.
yeah, I believe it. I'm saying I was making a joke about the caliber of the beef quality at McDonald's,
Yeah, yeah,
to which I'm still a fan of. But yeah, like I
yeah.
said, it can vary per person.
And then he said it just kinda over the years he's gotten less susceptible to it.
Yep,
So,
yeah, and that probably came from a lifetime, like a lifestyle change of not
mhm,
having that type of meat. But not everyone has that same
experience. Yeah,
diminishing experience.
yeah. That's kinda what I gathered is just
Yeah.
random.
Yep.
Um, and that's the tick that has the lone
The white
white
the star
speck.
on the back.
Yeah, it's very identifiable. It's the one
Yep.
I can tell you the difference,
Yep.
and I see them a lot around here in Indiana, in Southern Indiana.
Yep. So that's another one. Perhaps not as high in prevalence as Lyme, but it's definitely growing in its prevalence and geographic prevalence.
A few years ago, I heard a guy here in town got it, and it was like nobody knew about it then. And now, you
Mhm.
hear. I mean, a lot of people have had it now, so
Yeah. Um,
it's
uh,
crazy.
Quick anecdotal story. I was fortunate enough to meet a gentleman who works at like the one of the cattlemen beefs associations,
Mhm.
and he was blown away that they were serving chicken at one of the the big meetings, and
Yeah,
that's how he learned about alpha gal, as they were scratching their heads why chicken was being served at the dinner of the cattlemen's association.
yeah. Nobody be allergic to it.
Yeah.
Um, okay, and then we'll move on from that one again because there's another one that is out west a lot, and it's the what did you call it? The Rocky Mountain.
Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever. Yep. Which, in rare cases, not trying to be overly dramatic, that one actually can be fatal.
Okay, so what are some of the symptoms of that one? Because that's the one I'm not as familiar with.
Yep. So you're still going to get your kind of feverish symptoms, and can also lose motor functionality, loss of limbs. But like I said, in rare cases, it can be fatal.
Wow. So really, that's less prevalent one, but most serious one for sure.
Yeah. I mean, there. I think. I mean, we would argue that all of them are concerning.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The only good tick is a dead tick, and um, yeah. So I think what we would advocate most for is regional familiarity with what you're up against. But fortunately, uh, all ticks are susceptible to bug spray and permethrin. So for sure, be aware of the ticks that are in the area you're currently in or wherever you're going. But the similar amount of preventative maintenance can be extremely effective.